Okay everybody, Sarge 1911 here and we're ready for a video. How about you? Booyah. Here's what we're going to do first. First thing I got to do is tell you, number one, I appreciate all you guys and gals who have subscribed. Man, I really appreciate it. It's a great feeling for someone to like your stuff. Please keep it coming. If you guys have not subscribed, please do. Click on subscribe, click the little ringy-dingy and tell me that you do like the video, and you'll get a reminder that when we put up another one, because we're trying to get them put up on a pretty consistent basis. Finally, go check out my website, sgt1911.com. There's some new stuff out there. I think you'll like it. Now, let's get down to what we're out here to talk about. For over 100 years, this one particular gun company has been manufacturing what's known as the working man's gun. They're affordable, they have good quality, but they've limited themselves to primarily shotguns. Lo and behold, approximately nearly 100 years later, you see a rifle on the counter with their name on it. Good looking wooden rifles, walnut stocks, nice looking rifle. Again, affordable. And now, 100 years after manufacturing guns, this company decides, you know what, it's time we did a handgun. And here again, you can tell by looking at this box, this is a brown cardboard box. And what we're going to talk about today is something that's affordable, and because of that reputation, I know it's going to be dependable, and it's going to be something that the working man can afford. You know, not everybody can go out and buy a Colt handgun. Nobody can go out and buy less spares. It would be nice if we all could, we just unfortunately cannot. But it's kind of, I see it this way. Everybody's seen old Larry Potterfield in his commercials about, well, how many pair of shoes does one woman need? How many handguns does one man need? If I've got my Sunday go to meetings coat on, that's good for Sunday go to meeting. If I've got my mall shopping Saturday afternoon with the boss handgun on, that's a good thing. But what about when I've got my roll around in the mud? I need something while I'm working. I need something that if I lose it, I didn't lose thousands of dollars. I need something I'm not worried about denting, scratching, breaking. I just need something dependable that's going to run. This right here could be the answer to what you're talking about. Now, I'm not selling Mossberg guns. That's not what I'm doing. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at this pistol. This is the MC2C. So first of all, let's look in the box, and of course, we got our lock, right? Let's put it back in the box. I'm always needing a lock for something. This is a 15 round magazine. Pick this weapon up. Got a nice rubber band on it, wouldn't you say? Take that off. Take this magazine off. This is, what's that say? 13 round magazine. So, metal magazine. That's good, metal. Let's take a look at the eye candy. Thin little dude. Let me just kind of look at it a little bit. I've not looked at it and played with it. Let's just start up here. You know, I got serrations front and back, and I'm going to tell you right off, those are a lot more aggressive than a Glock. It's got a nice set of white dot sights on it. I'll see if you can get there and let the camera sit down and see it. It's got, let's look at the pistol grip. Nice and textured on the pistol grip. The back, the sides, rolling underneath, really aggressive. And if you look, it's kind of got like a bump in there, so it kind of form fits to your hand there. Nice trigger guard with some texture on the front of that. External extractor. Let's look at the trigger. You see it trigger's flat with a safety in it. It is a flat trigger. It's got a nice, well pronounced magazine release. You can see that there. So I can get my hand in there and magazine release falls right out perfectly. it does have a safety on it. Now I'm gonna get up close to the camera and be patient with me here because this is gonna be hard to see. It's got a safety on it, but it's a little different than what you see a lot of times. This safety's right here behind the trigger. You'll see it right there. I can push that thing in. On this side, it's gonna show red. I hope you're seeing it. If not, we'll try to do it again. So for a right-handed person, safety's off right behind the trigger. That's fine. That's fine. I don't, you know, a lot of polymer guns, I don't think those triggers are necessary. We've learned that with the Glocks because they got such a long, hard trigger stroke. This thing does feel good in the hand, even with a short magazine. Fits old Sarge 1911's hand pretty good. That long magazine, even better. You know, it's got a rail down at the bottom with one locking nug there, so it does have a place to lock something on it one time. Now, one thing I did notice with it, let me get up close again on both sides. Look at this. Look where I can keep my finger. This little rough spot right here where I can naturally lay that finger if I'm going to lay it outside the trigger guard. And on this side, I can put my offhand, thumb on that spot and lay it there on that. So where I can hold this handgun and keep it from twisting on me when I fire, that's good. You know, let's go ahead and dry fire it. Oh, we're putting the safety off, haven't we? About like any other striker fired gun, long and hard. You can hear it clink, striker fired, polymer. You know, let's do the reset. Long reset on it. I'll take that magazine out and see if you guys can do it. Watch my finger, I don't know if you can see it or not. Way out there, and it's definitely pronounced. You can really tell it's strong. Got a good strong spring in it. Nothing weak about it. One thing I did see online about it is the disassembly. We're not going to disassemble it. You guys who know how to disassemble like an AK-47 or something will be familiar with this. The back of this slide, this little piece right here, will come out. And what happens, if you know anything about the 1911s, and if you don't, we can learn it together. This little piece here slides out, and then the striker pulls out, and then you pull the barrel off. So this little thing here is kind of like the back part of an AK-47 or part of the 1911. It kind of holds the upper portion of this thing together. Now, that's different. I've not seen that on a pistol in decades, and some of you guys may or may not remember what I'm going to call pocket rockets. Back in late 70s, 80s out in California and stuff, there was some little manufacturers. I think one of them might have been a Davis manufacturer or something. They were making little 25 autos and 32 autos, and they would disassemble the same way here in the back. But I haven't seen that in many years, and like I said, I call them pocket rockets because they were just really small handguns you stick in your pocket and get yourself in trouble with. So anyway, what we're going to do, I think this is, again, a nice little handgun for, you know, somewhere around 300 bucks, brand spanking new. You can get them a lot of places, but if you'll just, you know, these things are going to be, in my opinion, and you guys know what we're talking about on my channel is my opinion, not yours, mine. I want to hear your comments. Try one yourself and tell me if you agree or disagree, respectfully. But you know, we're still talking about polymer pistols. This thing to me is right up in there where we had the Glock 43, then we got the Glock 43X, which the only difference was they really primarily increased the capacity. We're doing the same thing with this Mossberg handgun at 1/3 to half the price of some of the others. Yep. You know, the Hellcat, fine handgun, and no, we're not going to say that this is in a league with the Hellcat because of the different triggers, and you know, but we're not trying to compete with a Hellcat. We're not trying to compete. But I will say this thing is every bit going to compete with a Glock. So, you know, Glock just happened to get it's kind of like a Xerox. Every copy machine in the world is known as a Xerox when it's not. It's just a copy, and we've used that over and over and over. Here again, I'm going to compare this to a lot of other striker fire pistols. Polymer, metal top. You know, I expect to go out here in the range in a minute and it'll be exactly what I expect it's going to be. Long, hard pull trigger, dependable, affordable, one that we should just pick up and keep it with us whenever we get an opportunity. Now, one thing we got to do before we wrap up in here inside the hideout. Right now, I got some deer at the feeder, so I'm going to have to cut it loose for a minute. We're going to take a few minutes break, let them finish eating their chow, then I'm going to meet you outside, out back. All right, we're out back of the hideout. You know, you might have had a good chance to see the two deer that Mrs. Sarge 1911 loves so much. You know, you got the one three-legged one that's been with us for several years. And you know, you kind of hope she don't take an arrow, but we hope she stays afraid of people so she don't take an arrow. Anyway, we're out here with the Mossberg. This is the MC2C 9mm. You know, it's like this one of these new high capacity single stack things. Now guys, you hear me say a lot and talk about the Glock, and I'm not bashing Glock. The truth of the matter is Glock is kind of the standard for polymer pistols. So it's kind of like when you talking about a Rolex, you know, this is the one everybody knows, or you're talking about Mount Everest, it's the mountain that everybody knows. Glock is the polymer pistol that everybody knows. So for me, you know, and I don't know that much about Glocks, but so don't think I'm a Glock basher. That's the standard by which all polymer pistols are kind of measured. We've got out there right now a ton of 9mm handguns that are this size, that are shooting, you know, 15, 16 round, 13 round magazines, even more if you buy aftermarket extensions. We've got a lot of them out there. They're priced anywhere from, you know, the upper twos to, you know, $1,000, depending on what you're looking for. But this one here, the Mossberg, you know, like I said in there a few minutes ago, they've been around for over 100 years now, but they've never really made handguns. This is their second model, and we're fixing to light it up. And you know, I think for the price of this thing, it's just going to have to be pretty damn bad to be a terrible pistol. I mean, you know, let's see what it does. One thing to point out real quick, these are metal magazines that I pointed out, and I just happened to notice they're made in Italy. Most things that I find made in Italy seem to be pretty well made, but these things were a little hard to load. They just did not feel slick. Does that make sense? So let me put this here protection on. Oh, notice my new target. Painted my new targets out there, and I got another one, stood them up. You know, I got to be politically correct. So let me do this. There we go. Man, shot just like any other one, doesn't it? I don't care how much it costs, it just does its deal. If you'll notice a little target, man, with a couple of strays, I was putting all of them right there, belly button high. So you know, we'll see what we can do. That was like the 13 round. You know, we got a little jiggle wiggle there when this thing's empty. I'm gonna go ahead and load it up. Make sure our safety continues to work right. Let's just test the safety real quick, just for the hell of testing. What? It is on safe. There is no trigger pull. Alright, let me put this hearing protection back on. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna slow it down just a little bit, see if I can hit something else with this smaller target with these little finer sights, and we'll see what that does. See if I stretch it out there. Get that safety on this Palmer pistol. have to say, it's accurate. I didn't see anything wrong with that at all. I'm gonna load up a few more rounds of Tula. Finding your favorite ammo. You know, while I'm loading this, somebody talks about ammo. My understanding is, I'm starting to get some emails. We're starting to find a little bit more ammo. The other thing about that is, it's also starting to get a little bit cheaper. Now, that doesn't mean we're still not going to get Prouts, you know, gouged here and there and stuff, but I've got a few emails lately that worked out quite well. They're showing some decent prices, and you know, Midway USA, the Sportsman's Guide, Cheaper Than Dirt, Classic Firearms. These guys they're starting to send out some emails that show some 9mm, some 223 that are affordable. Most all of it is steel case, so you guys who are a little picky with that, don't bother listening to me. But you see this thing just is a little bit not slick, but it works. A little bit more difficult to load, but you know, part of that is this steel case got that coating on the outside of it. It's rolling off of that. It's got a good stout spring in it. I don't see anything wrong with this handgun. I think for the price, this is a super valued pistol. That trigger though was just really, really long, and I won't get up here close to you because you've got to be able to hear this. I'm sure you can hear that. It's just got a heavy spring, a heavy striker in it. But hey, it's all good. If it goes bang, 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 we're ready to rock and roll, right? Let's try this again. There we go. I think that's it, guys. You know, nothing special. It's not plain. It's not plain. It's got a nice aggressive grip on it. The serrations on it are good. There is nothing wrong with this handgun at all. The safety on it, don't get me in trouble here, with that long flat trigger, yeah, I probably would never carry it with a safety on, but you get an opportunity, try one out. I don't think you can go wrong with a handgun. Like I said, I'm not advertising for Mossberg. I'm trying to help you guys make a good decision and just give you my opinion. And to me, that's what counts, my opinion. What I'm gonna do now is wrap it up, tell you guys like I always do, make sure every time you go, shoot safe, shoot straight. Hooah.